guys, this is Nikki Noel from Wildflower Studio. Thank you for joining us today for our flower of the month, November. This is the Poinsettia. So we're going to show you how to assemble. If you've ordered our kit, you've received 15 petals. That's the entirety of your kit, and it's just the glass. You'll need to supply everything else that we use today. So I'm going to jump right in and show you how to tin all of your petals first before assembly. So this is just the process of applying the flux to all of the copper foil. We do this with 3-dimensional projects. It's pretty common to tin your pieces ahead of time. This is not common in 2-dimensional work. And in fact, you don't want to do that in 2-dimensional work. You do not need to drown your pieces in flux, but it's okay if it gets on the glass. We wash everything off when we're finished. Again, this is the Poinsettia kit. There's going to be a link down in the description so you can grab this on our website. So side A, we're going to go ahead and flux, and then we want to tin, and that's just applying our solder to each piece. So I like to work left to right, top to bottom. Doesn't really matter the direction so much. Doing it in one direction allows all the pieces to cool so that whenever you turn them over and you begin at the beginning, then everything is cooled down and you can handle them pretty easily. So it's kind of a nice way to go about it. If you have problems or you don't feel comfortable using your fingers, then use a pair of pliers to hold them still. If you would like, you can also use a towel. It really doesn't matter how you achieve it as long as you get your solder on all the copper foil that you see. So after side A, we're going to complete side B, and then we're going to complete our edges. So A, B, and edges. Okay, that's all 15 petals. So then I'm going to start here and turn them all over. Get them ready to do side B. Okay, same thing again. Put your flux all over. And as always, if these are all steps that you know, and quite likely they are, because many folks have been glassing for quite a while that follow us, then just skip to the assembly part. That's okay. We don't mind. And if you ever have any questions about any of these steps in any of our videos, or any questions in general, please feel free to let us know, and we'll answer anything as well as we can. All right, side B. Apply all of our solder onto the copper foil. I like to pull my solder out before I start working. In fact, I think I'm going to use the pliers today because that just feels pretty comfortable. Here's a little hack for you guys. This is a tool hack. These pliers that I'm using right here, it's the Pittsburgh brand. You find these at Harbor Freight. I think they're about $3, and they come with a lifetime warranty. So you're able to replace them when they get all rusted and corroded from the chemical interaction with your flux. And you can go into Harbor Freight and exchange them for free. So that is a really nice thing to be able to do. We get a lot of our small hand tools there as well. Today, as far as solder goes, we're using the Amerway 6040 solder. And we're using the Amerway Tiger Gel Flux as well. And I like the Gel Flux particular. We teach a lot of classes. Gel Flux doesn't dry quickly, and I find that it doesn't smoke and burn quite as much. So we like it for that. Okay, so that was side B. Now we're gonna do our edges, and I start at the top left, and this petal is not warm to the touch, even remotely. So we're just gonna keep doing that. And we don't really need to apply more flux because side A and side B flux got around those edges too. Little textured guy got in there. Look at him. That's all right. If you ever have questions about our kits, you can always check out our website, wildflowerstudio.us. We have all of our pre-cut kits on there, and we have information about classes and custom work that we do in our studio. We just installed a beautiful American flag at an American Legion in a town kind of close to us. That was really cool. And we've created a lot of garden pieces for folks, windows for folks, and helped design works of art. So if that is something you're interested in, give us a shout out and we would love to help you with that. And thank you everybody who's here, just checking out the video, looking at kits, getting some information. It's always good to have a community to share art with and ideas with. You'll see I'm kind of tapping off a little bit of this extra solder as I go. In our studio, we have a solder bucket. It's pretty heavy from all the classes that we teach, and we just reuse that solder until it's gone. It's kind of nice. All right. Coming down to the last few petals. And then I will show you how to assemble them. And I'm going to show you just a couple little options too. It's the nice thing about these kits in particular is that even though you get this number of pieces of glass, you can get a little bit creative and think about different things that you want to do with it. That's always okay. All right. Last petal. Okay, so now we're going to put all of these together. I'm going to move all of them aside except for 5 of them. So the first layer is flat, and we're just going to create an even spacing all around, and we're going to tack it together. And remember, this layer is flat. Very pretty, very, very easy. We don't even really need flux because we have flux on there already. So we're going to if you're a person who struggles with hand shakiness like I do, then you can always kind of plant your hand down here to give you a little bit of a foundation while you work. Okay, that's this side. We're gonna flip it over to B side and essentially just do the same thing. I'm gonna use just a little bit because I want this to move around and really get solid all the way through. So what flux does is it pulls the solder in, and that's how we get it to seal up and look nice and full like that. Okay, so this side, let's go ahead and just smooth it out a little bit. And now we're going to position the next layer, and all that you do is position this in between. Just like this. And you want to give it the same angle. So some folks like to use something really repetitive. So you could use your pliers just like this. Yep, that'll work. And then you have the same angle all the way around. It's a really good way to approach it. It's just anything that'll give you that repetitive angle. Okay. So make sure you let it cool. And then let's go ahead and rotate. And again, you're just putting it right in the middle of the seam of the next one. Pretty simple. Okay. And we can go around and tighten those up whenever we're done with all the layer, this layer. Okay. Shaping up perfect. All right. There we go. And then one more. And there we go. Okay, and our last layer, again, we're gonna do the same thing, and you can position this any way that you want using the same blocking method, or I just kind of use my fingers to gauge it and I watch as I go. There's a lot of different ways to get your angle right. I really do feel like we can just kind of eyeball it a little bit here. So again, right in between that layer, that's perfect. Okay. Attach this one. All right, last two. Okay, this last guy is going to go on there, and then we can tighten everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a little bit of solder here. We're really just filling in and getting all of our joints tightened up. We just want to get it really, really secure in there. And then it's fine to go ahead and fill this in, smooth them out. Okay, let that cool. That looks really good. Okay. And then you have an option at the end. We can tin this and put this in here. I found these on Amazon. They're actually like little party lights that you can put in your cocktail. This is obviously a permanent solution. It's very pretty. This is not a permanent solution, but it looks a little bit like a candle flickering. Anyway, those are on Amazon. That's just an idea. So with this one, we can just tin this and tack this in. We'll show that real quick. And these little glass blobs tend to be some of the more difficult just because it's so small and you have to use your fingers. You can use a pair of pliers, but like it or not, they're just a little slippery. So I just like to work really quick. That's my strategy. All right. So it is hot. I'm going to go ahead and grab my pliers to plop that in there. There we go. And the idea here is you're just connecting anywhere that you see solder, basically. You just want to get it connected to solder that you see. There we go. And then over here. And if you feel at all like you're rushed, don't rush. It's okay. You've got some time. There's a lot of things in the world that rush us. For a lot of different reasons, good and bad. I hope that whenever you're doing this, you have a moment to just be and just enjoy and be present with some art and something that makes you feel good. So that is our cute poinsettia.